For years, John Pedley lived like a king. A millionaire in the UK, his life was a whirlwind of champagne, fast cars, and city lights that never dimmed. Was known for his legendary parties, a life of endless excess where the only rule was to have a good time. But in one heart-stopping moment, everything that defined his world shattered. It was 2002. A night fueled by alcohol ended in the screech of tires and the sickening crunch of metal. John's car crashed, and he was left clinging to life in a coma. The doctors were grim. They weren't sure he would survive. Against all odds, John woke up. But the man who opened his eyes in that sterile hospital room was not the same one who had gotten behind the wheel. The world he knew, the life he had built, felt like a distant, hollow memory. As he lay in that hospital bed, bathed in the soft morning light, something profound shifted within him. The physical recovery was slow and agonizing, but the internal transformation was even more seismic. The man who had once chased pleasure with a single-minded obsession began to search for something more, something real, a purpose. The endless parties and luxury possessions suddenly seemed meaningless, like cheap props on an empty stage. He realized he had been living a life devoid of genuine connection and contribution. This near-death experience wasn't an end. It was a jarring, brutal, and necessary awakening. He started questioning everything. What was the point of all his wealth if it could unfill the void he now felt so acutely? He was alive, but for what? The answer came from an unexpected place. A friend was doing charity work in Uganda, and their letters and videos painted a picture of a world so far removed from his own. He saw children who had nothing, yet their eyes shone with a light he hadn't seen in his own life of luxury. He saw a community struggling, but also one filled with resilience and hope. A powerful feeling began to stir in his heart, a calling he couldn't ignore. He watched videos of his friend working with orphans, and a simple but life-altering thought struck him. If he can help others, why can't I? This question echoed in his mind, growing louder each day until it became a declaration. He knew what he had to do. He'd been given a second chance, and he wasn't going to waste it chasing ghosts in designer suits. The decision was made. In 2010, John Pedley began to systematically dismantle the empire he had built. It started with his prized countryside farmhouse, a sprawling property worth over $1.5 million. He walked through its rooms one last time, pausing by family photos, memories of a life that felt like it belonged to someone else. With a steady hand, he gave the keys to the new owners. Then went his businesses, his cars, his designer clothes, every single possession, every comfort he had ever known. Friends and family thought he had lost his mind. How could someone willingly give up everything they had worked for? But for John, it wasn't a loss. It was liberation. He was shedding a heavy, gilded cage, piece by piece, by choice. He was trading material wealth for something infinitely more valuable, a mission. So with his old life packed away and sold off, John boarded a plane to Uganda. He traded his luxurious mansion for a simple mud hut, built with his own hands, among the very people he had come to serve. The African sunrises were more breathtaking than any city skyline he had ever seen. He woke not to the sound of an alarm clock, but to the laughter of children running to greet him. This was his new reality. Founded a charity, not just to provide food and shelter for orphaned children, but to give them what they truly needed, a family, a sense of belonging. He became a father figure to dozens, pouring all the energy he once spent on parties into building a home filled with love and safety. He was no longer just a millionaire. He was a lifeline. But John's vision didn't stop there. He remembered the aimlessness and despair of his own past and saw a similar emptiness in the eyes of many troubled youths back in the UK. He thought, what if he could connect these two worlds? He started a unique program, inviting young people from Britain who were struggling with their own demons, addiction, crime, hopelessness, to come to Uganda. He gave them a simple task: help him care for the orphans. It was a radical idea. He believed that by serving others, these troubled teens could find their own path to healing. And it worked. They arrived, often cynical and closed off. But as they worked alongside the local children building, teaching, playing, and laughing, something magical happened. Walls came down. In the act of giving, they found a piece of themselves they thought was lost forever. Two groups of broken people from opposite ends of the world were healing each other. Years later, sitting by a crackling campfire under a vast, starlit Ugandan sky, surrounded by the villagers and children who had become his family. Someone asked John if he ever regretted it. Did he miss the fast cars, the fancy parties, the millionaire life? He just smiled, his face illuminated by the warm glow of the fire. "I have never been more sure about anything in my life," he said. The peace in his eyes spoke volumes. He had discovered a profound truth that so many of us spend our whole lives searching for. True wealth isn't measured by what you have in your bank account, but by the love you share and the difference you make. It's not about what you keep for yourself, it's about what you give away. From a mansion to a mud hut, it's from a life of chaos to a life of deep compassion. John Pedley's incredible journey shows us that it's never too late to change your story. He proved that even a life shattered into pieces can be rebuilt into something far more beautiful and meaningful. He is a living testament to the idea that our deepest wounds can become our greatest strengths, and that sometimes you have to lose everything to find what truly matters. He is the millionaire with a mission. If you were inspired by John's story, please hit that like button and subscribe for more incredible true stories. Thank you for watching.